Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. We're back here at tiermaker.com ranking the starting point guards this season. So, without further ado, I'm just going to go over the categories. At first, we have superstar, and that's just self-explanatory. Superstar players, and those are talented point guards who can almost do everything. Then we have superstar caliber, who are good players, very good players, but they're not on that superstar level yet. And then we have young prospect, like good point guards that are pretty young right now and not on that superstar level. It's pretty similar to superstar caliber, but they're just younger. And then we have average players that are, good players, like not good, but just average, decent players that are good for, like, they can give you with, like, some scoring, some defense. And then we have bench point guards that are, like, coming off the bench with your starting point guard. And then in the end, we have, why is he even in the NBA? Like, trash point guards, totally trash. So, starting off here, we have Drew Holiday. Drew is obviously not a superstar. He's not going to be the one that says, why is he in the NBA? Nor is he a bench point guard because he provides you with decent scoring and fantastic defense. He can guard a top point guard on the other team, top small forward, top shooting guard, but obviously he can't guard a center because of his height. He's averaging this season 18.8 points and really, really, really good defense. And that's why I have him. He's not young right now. He's pretty old, like 32, 33. So he can't be a young prospect. But I have him as superstar caliber because if he develops his offensive game a little more, and he's nearing the end of his career, but still he has time to develop his offensive game. And if he gets better at that, he can be a superstar. Ja Morant, young point guard this season, won Rookie of the Year last season. He's averaging 20 points a game, about 20 points a night, and 6 assists, 6 rebounds, which is really good for a young point guard. And again, I said young point guard, so that's why he's going to be a young prospect. Then we have Malcolm Brogdon. He averaged a 50-40-90 in his second season, I believe, in the NBA, and that's the youngest player to ever do so. And he's really good in helping the Indiana Pacers to a playoff spot in the East, but he's not your superstar type player yet, nor is he superstar caliber, but he's a young prospect who can become a superstar in the future. And his position is literally like the same as Ja Morant in that photo. Then we have Kobe White. Wow, another player that should go in the young prospect. For the Bulls, he's performing outstanding after a decent to bad start to last season because his start was bad, but then during the end of the season, he got back on track and he was performing fantastic, giving you 30 a night at the end of the season in the last 3 or 4 games, shooting 50-40-90 splits. But this season, he's back to being decent. But again, he's young, so he has lots of potential, but he doesn't have superstar potential yet. That's why he's a young prospect. And then we have Russell Westbrook. And this is hard, because if this was last year, this would have been superstar. He would have been a superstar last year. But he's definitely not a bench point guard, nor is he average due to his athleticism and how he scores very, very, very creatively from anywhere on the court besides three-pointers because he breaks them all. That's why his name is Russell Westbrook. Okay, back to the topic. Averaging 20 points, 10 rebounds, almost 10 rebounds, and 10.5 assists. That's not superstar. Well, that is superstar. But his team's not winning many games. But again, that's not really his fault because his team is bad besides him and Bradley Beal. He's definitely not a young prospect due to his age now. But I guess we'll go superstar caliber because once in his career, he was a superstar. But then this season, he's not performing like he was when he was last season or last season or his MVP season. So that's why I have him as superstar caliber this season. Maybe he's just not feeling well this season, maybe due to injury or maybe because he had COVID last year. But he can be a superstar again next year if he performs well. Now we have John Wall, another player that was a superstar 2 to 3 years ago. but after his Achilles injury, he's not performing as well. Again, he just got traded to the Rockets this season for Russell Westbrook, and the Rockets are on a 20-game losing streak, and I'm just going to say it's pretty easy to say he's superstar caliber after his Achilles injury. LeBron, why is LeBron here? What? I mean, yeah, okay, never mind. I guess he's a point guard. Yeah, superstar. Moving on. Yeah. Chris, Mike Conley. Okay, wow, that was. I don't even need to talk there. Top point guards. I guess LeBron's a point guard, but yeah, those four were just the top point guards in the league this season. Especially Chris Paul, who's helping the Phoenix Suns to a top record. Prayers up for LeBron. He's injured. Lillard, MVP conversation. Luka can also be in the MVP conversation. So I didn't really need to talk anything for those. Now on Mike Conley. He's not superstar caliber, especially on the back end of his career now. Nor is he young because he's on the back end of his career now. That's why I have him as an average point guard who can provide you with some points. Like he's averaging 16 points this season with 6 assists and 3 rebounds. So that's why he's average. He's not too bad to be a bench point guard though. Jamal Murray, Mr. Inconsistent. He's not a superstar yet, but I'm confused between superstar caliber and young prospect because he's really not too young. Like he's kind of like with the Malcolm Brogdon, era when he got drafted. I don't know what year he got drafted. I think 2016. And Brogdon got drafted in 2015, I believe, or 16 as well. I'm not sure, but I guess he's young and he was performing really well last season in the bubble. And then again, he's being inconsistent this season. That's why I have him as a young prospect. But he's not bad enough to be average or to be on Mike Conley's level. Now we have Patrick Beverley. This guy's weird because offensively, he's going to provide you with absolutely nothing. And defensively, he's going to provide you with absolutely so much. That's why when you put defense over offense, and some old guy boomer probably said defense wins championships, then I guess he's the best point guard in the league because he's one of the top defenders in the league. I don't know. Yeah, but he's not superstar caliber, nor is he a superstar, nor is he young. So I'm just going to go with bench because Mike Conley's way better than him offensively. And offense is what is driving the NBA right now. Goran Dragic, lefty point guard who helped the Heat reach the finals last season. People were calling the Heat a fluke after their bad start, but nobody realized Jimmy was missing games, he was missing games, Ben was missing games due to COVID-19 protocols. And I'm so happy the Heat are performing well. I'm not a Heat fan, but I'm just happy to see them performing well because I like Jimmy Butler. He's one of my favorite players. My favorite, obviously, is Steph Curry. That's why he's going to go to superstar right there. And yeah, Goran Dragic, he's near the end of his career now. And I have him as an average point guard on Mike Conley's level. Both lefties are average. Now we have Elfrid Payton. Markelle Fultz suffered so many injuries, and it's so tough. Sorry, I had to take a break right there because someone was knocking on my door and I got scared, but just leave that aside. I don't know if you guys heard the door sound, but I'm starting the recording again, starting from the spot where I left off. After I put Elfrid Payton in the why is he in the NBA category. Now we're at Markelle Fultz, and I think I was talking about his injuries. His injuries are so, sad because, first of all, he could barely even shoot the ball when he entered the NBA because of a thing called, I don't know, but it's a shoulder problem that causes your shoulder to hesitate and, crack all the time. And that's why he shot so weirdly. Take a look right here. But obviously, I don't think he's gonna become a superstar later in his career due to so many injuries. He got this ACL injury this season. He's young, but again, I don't think he's gonna be a superstar, so I can't rank him as a young prospect. But the best he can be is probably a bench point guard, providing a team with a few scoring, a championship contending team. Next, we have Ben Simmons. I don't see him as a superstar yet due to his lack of offense, and the NBA is solely based on offense nowadays. Defense, yes, defense is good. Anthony Davis, Rudy Gobert, but they're all skilled offensively as well. Besides Rudy Gobert, he can't really shoot threes, but he can score, and threes is not the only way to score. So, like, Wilt Chamberlain scored 50 points a game in one of his seasons without even shooting a three because there wasn't a three-point line. So that just shows you that three-pointers are, yes, they're very useful in this NBA because 3 points is more than 2. But if you can score efficiently in any other way, like scoring dunks and layups and mid-range, then why not? But Ben Simmons' lack of offense is not, he's not lacking too much offense, just a little bit. Maybe if he develops a three-point shot or a better mid-range game, then he can be a superstar. But as of now, he's a superstar caliber. Yes, he's young, but he's superstar caliber. He's not in these like Jamal Murray, John Morant type. He's better than those players. De'Aaron Fox, I rank him like basically like John Morant, but his team doesn't have as much success because John Morant almost carried the Grizzlies to the playoffs last season. Just remember that in his rookie season. And then this season, the Grizzlies are in playoff contention as of now, but the Sacramento Kings are not. So he's in the young prospect. He's not as bad as Mike Conley or Goran Dragic, but I see him as a young prospect. That's DeJounte Murray, I believe. Yeah. Or is that Derek White? No, that has to be DeJounte Murray. Yeah, DeJounte Murray also battled a lot of injuries. This season he's averaging around 16 points, and that's pretty decent, providing a team with 16 points a night, like Mike Conley. But I just don't see him becoming a superstar because he's been very inconsistent in his days. And I'm sorry if you're a Spurs fan because you guys are winning lots of games this season, but just this one person has been really inconsistent. Shout out to DeMar DeRozan, who didn't get to be an all-star, but still deserved to be an all-star this season. He's carrying the Spurs very heavily. I pray for his back. But yeah, he's a average. I don't see him as a young prospect. I don't see him developing into a superstar. Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry was a superstar caliber player at a time in his career. Now he's nearing the end of his career. He's definitely not a young prospect. Nor is he superstar caliber anymore. He's not superstar. He's not in the category of Steph, Dame, Chris Paul, Luka, and LeBron. That's why he's just average. Everyone comes to average at the end of the year, end of their careers, besides LeBron and Chris Paul. Steph's coming near the end in like 4 or 5 years. He might retire, and he's still performing really well. Who knows what's going to happen in 4 to 5 years. Next we have Darius Garland. Shouldn't it be Colin Sexton? Is that Colin Sexton? Alright, I gotta search it up. That's my YouTube channel. Hold up. Is that Colin Sexton? Colin Sexton. That's his image right there. Okay. What about Darius Garland? Yeah, that's Darius Garland, yeah. Okay. I guess Colin Sexton's a shooting guard? That's weird. Okay. By the way, subscribe to my channel. Just look at this. PJ Tucker, ranking NBA duos, 200 rated MVP candidates, how the MVP race changes. You gotta subscribe for NBA channels, man. Let NBA channels grow. So back to Darius Garland. He was a top pick, one of the top picks in his draft in 2018, but hasn't really done much at all. And I'm just curious, why is he in the NBA? Okay, moving on. Kemba Walker. Injuries, inconsistency, not a superstar. not that young, but he's on the same level as Drew Holiday, Westbrook, and Kemba Walker due to his handles and offensive skill set. This year's rookie, Killian Hayes, he's been injured most of the season, but in the games he's played, he hasn't been really well either. And this is tough. He is definitely not even in the conversation for Rookie of the Year. I guess young prospect, because again, in your rookie season, everyone's a young prospect because no one's performing like 30 points a game, providing 6 assists, 7 rebounds in your rookie year. That's very rare unless you're like Magic Johnson. So that's why he's as a young prospect right here. All right. Kyrie Irving, top point guard in the league, can be an MVP, although he has the help of James Harden and Kevin Durant. That's what haters say. That's what they said for Steph. That's what they said for LeBron. But yeah, he's a superstar. Bona fide superstar. LaMelo Ball, again, prayers up to him. So many injuries happening nowadays, but he's out for the season due to a broken bone in his wrist. And he's definitely one of the young and upcoming superstars of the league. He's probably going to be a face of the NBA sooner or later, maybe even until next season, because this season he's averaging 17 points, 6 assists, and 6 rebounds. That's basically what Steph Curry's averaging, but just 12 points less. Yeah, 12 points isn't a lot, guys. Like, that's 4 3-pointers. Well, that's nothing for Steph, but for other players, it's 4 3-pointers. So he's averaging 4 3-pointers less than Steph Curry, points-wise. But yeah, he's definitely a young prospect. Ricky Rubio, welcome home back to Timberwolves. He's not really good. Like, his passing is kind of overrated as well. People say he has good court vision and such, but whenever I watched the Wolves game or the Phoenix Suns games last season, his passing was just decent. Like, any point guard would be a decent passer. That's why they're the point guard. And it's not like absolute great passing like Chris Paul, you see with Chris Paul or Luka or Steph, LeBron. These guys have great passing, but I don't see anything special with Ricky Rubio, nor is his defense like out of the world. That's why he's a bench point guard. Shai Gilgeous, yeah, young prospect. This guy, I have so much faith in him. That's why I put him so quick in the young prospect category. I have so much faith with him. Watch this guy be MVP once in his career, once or twice. I'm telling you right now. Get him to a little better team, just a little better. Look how he's helping the Oklahoma City Thunder already. Just get him to a better team, just a tiny bit better team. This guy's going to be MVP, trust me. Already averaging 20 points a game in his 3rd season. Just trust me, guys. Trae Young, he was overrated for a while. But then once someone becomes overrated, then they're technically perfectly rated, because when people realize that he's overrated, it's not overratedness. So basically that once people know that this guy is overrated, they know he's not as good as he's projected to be. That means he's not overrated anymore. That means he's perfectly rated. So whatever, but people hated him. NBA players hate him. And that's because the way he draws fouls kind of similar to James.
Count it. Free throw for Trae Young. Game of
There's no offensive rebounding. Very limited offensive rebounding.
And Aaron.
2 minutes, less than 2 minutes remaining in the half.
Trae got the whistle.
Traffic jam there. Put up a tough shot.
Trae again. Trae.
Double figures, 11 points for Devontae Graham to go along with 7 assists. Oh, Young
In the world. Nope, get a good quality shot.
Young works on Sexton. Lost the ball.
expectations that began the year up to a good start.
Young draws the sideline. Puts it up on. Trae off. Trae with the defense.
It's 2 games.
He draws fouls that are not supposed to be fouls, but the ref calls them fouls because they look like it's a foul because of his flopping. And that's why he's being hated nowadays, and that's the reason that he wasn't voted for an all-star by the players. But still, his skill set is amazing offensively. The lack of defense is what's going to be putting him as a young superstar. He was drafted in the same class as Luka, but you can see how Luka's already a superstar, and then this guy's a young prospect still. Or I can put him, I guess, superstar caliber. But I guess he's a young prospect. Lonzo Ball, after a horrible start this season for the New Orleans Pelicans, is one of the best shooters in the NBA. Yes, I hate to say this, but I can't say this. I don't want to say this. Lonzo Ball is one of the best shooters in the NBA. Okay, I said it. I can't believe I said it, but I said it. He is one of the best shooters in the NBA right now. He's on a streak out of this world, and he's performing so well when he got into trade talks, and that's the same thing that happened with Kelly Oubre Jr. When he got into trade talks, Kelly Oubre dropped 40 points on the Dallas Mavericks the day after he got into trade talks. And then now Lonzo is becoming one of the best shooters in the NBA since he got into trade talks. But this guy's definitely not going to be an average player. He's more than average, in my opinion, due to his defensive skill set and his offensive playmaking ability. He's averaging around 16 points this season on damn near 40% from the three-point line. Gosh darn it. 40% for Lonzo Ball. Like, I think, after a slow start to the season, he has a chance to be a superstar caliber player, but as of now, he's a young prospect. I don't see him being like a superstar yet, but he can be close to a superstar, like Russell Westbrook or Kemba Walker type player, but better. So pretty much that's it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, then make sure to like the video and subscribe. Here's the list one more time. Superstar, we have LeBron, Steph, Dame, Kyrie, Chris Paul, and Luka. For superstar caliber, we have Drew Holiday, Kemba Walker, Ben Simmons, John Wall, and Russell Westbrook. As the young prospects, we have John Morant, Malcolm Brogdon, Kobe White, Jamal Murray, De'Aaron Fox, LaMelo Ball, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Killian Hayes, Trae Young, and Lonzo Ball. For average point guards, we have DeJounte Murray, Kyle Lowry, Goran Dragic, and Mike Conley. For bench point guards, we got Markelle Fultz, Ricky Rubio, and Patrick Beverley. And for the two players that I don't even know why they're in the NBA, and I'm really confused, and I'm so confused that I'm just going to end the video right now, are Elfrid Payton and Darius Garland.